कैसे हो? क्या है पटना हाईकोर्ट में? हम गए अपना थोड़ा हम बोल रहे नहीं समझ में आता कुछ। जाएगी।
Good afternoon, all of you. May I request Mr. Yogesh Chand Verma, President of the Advocates Association, please to kindly speak.
Honorable the Chief Justice of this court, other honorable judges, Sri Ajay Kumar Thakur, President of Lawyers Association, Sri Sanjay Singh, President Bar Association, senior advocates, other esteemed members of the bar, learned Advocate General Bihar, learned Additional Solicitor General, members of the registry. My lords, we have assembled here to condole the demise of 9 lawyers of this court. That is really shocking that on one day, condolence meeting for 9 lawyers is being held. And those let Kapil Singh, let Kamalakant Pathak, let Virender Prasad, they are members of the Advocate Association. And let Arun Kumar Singh, let Arun Prasad Singh, both are members of Lawyers Association. And let Dev-Narayan Yadav and let Anub Kumar Sinha, both are members of the Bar Association. Lord, I will be first, my lord, let Kali Prasanna Dubey. Lord, he was born on 23rd of September 1961 at Kankarbaग. He completed his matriculation in the year 1977 from Patna Collegiate High School. He did his graduation in the year 1981 from PN College Patna and then LLB degree from Patna Law College Patna. He was enrolled with the Bihar State Bar Council in the year 1989. He started his practice at Patna High Court in the year 1989 itself. He was working on constitutional, civil and election matters. He conducted and argued various nature of cases and other courts. Even he was also going to Supreme Court, and many of his judgments are reported in different journals. He was a fine gentleman. He died on 21st of June 2022 at a very premature age of 61 years. And then the sixth, late Causal Kumar, advocate. He was born on 5th of January 1964 in the district of Baisali. He passed his matriculation examination in the year 1979 and graduation in the year 1984. He obtained LLB degree from Magad University in the year 1990. He was enrolled with the Bihar State Bar Council in the year 1990. He started his practice at Patna High Court the same year. He worked as a AC to GP 13 since 23rd of March 2006 to 15th of December 2010. He was a very pleasant person, extremely good man. He died on 31st of May 2022 at a very young age of 55 years. And then Kapil Singh. He was born on 1st of December 1956, Saran district. He completed his matriculation in the year 1976 from Marhora High School, Saran, and passed his intermediate examination in the year 1978 from Anugrah Narayan Memorial College and graduation in the year 1981. He passed his LLB degree course from Magad University in the year 1993. He was enrolled with the Bihar State Bar Council in the year 1993. He started his practice in Patna High Court the same year. He was an extremely good person. He died on 30th of April 2022 at a very premature age of 66 years. The bar was expecting much of him. And then Kamalakant Pathak. He was born on 12th of October 1965. He passed his matriculation examination in the year 1980 and intermediate from St. Xavier College, Ranchi. He did his graduation from St. Xavier College, Ranchi and passed his LLB examination from Bihar Institute of Law in the year 1995. He was enrolled with the Bihar State Bar Council in the year 1995 He started his practice in Patna High Court same year. He was a popular figure and very friendly to the members of the bar. He died on 27th of April 2021 at a very young age of hardly 56 years. It's a really shocking. And then Virender Prasad. He was born on 25th of February 1945 in the district of Gopalganj. He passed his matriculation examination in the year 1962 from Waroli High School, Gopalganj, and thereafter did his graduation from Rajendra College, Chhapra. He obtained his LLB degree from College of Commerce, Patna in the year 2001. He was enrolled with the Bihar State Bar Council in the year 2003 and started practice the same year. After completing his education, he joined as a clerk in the Land Development Bank, Patna on 7th of November 1967. And after successfully carrying his career for 35 years, he retired on 25th of February 2003 as a sectional head officer. After retirement, he joined Patna High Court under the guidance of Mr. Naresh Chandra Verma, advocate. He died on 31st of November 2021 at the age of 76 years. And then Arun Kumar Singh. He did his LLB course in the year 1969. He was enrolled with the Bihar State Bar Council on 4th of November 1969. He died on 24th of June 2020 at Patna. He was a busy lawyer. And then late Arun Prasad Singh. He was born on 29th of March 1950 and passed his LLB examination from Magadha University in the year 1990. He worked as initially he started at a very humble start. He started his career as the advocate's clerk from 1967 and he was there till 26th of May to 1995. He was a member of the Lawyers Association. He died on 31st of March 2022. And thereafter, late Anub Kumar Sinha. He was born on 1st of January 1963. He passed his graduation from College of Commerce, Magadha University, and LLB from College of Commerce, Magadha University, Bodh Gaya. He had worked as a railway advocate since 2008 till his death. He was junior counsel to Advocate General from 1998 to 2005. He was even a retainer counsel for Bihar Intermediate Education Council. He even worked as an additional PP in Bara Karnal from Gaya case in the year 1998. He was working as an additional PP of Bathe Karnal since 1998. He was extremely good man, very popular among the lawyers. And then late Dev Narayan Yadav. He was born on 4th of January 1944. He did his matriculation from Bihar School Examination Board, Patna in the year 1959 and passed his LLB examination from CM College, Darbhanga in the year 1969. Initially, he was practicing at Madhubani, but subsequently he shifted to Patna. He was an extremely good man and he was a very busy man. He was doing all sorts of cases. He died on 17th of April 2022 at the age of 78 years. He had political inclination also. He was a social activist and was associated with numerous organizations. So now the death of 9 lawyers is shocking, and their death is irreparable loss to the legal fraternity. So I, on my behalf and on behalf of the Advocate Association, pay my heartfelt condolence to let Kali Prasanna Dubey, let Kausal Kumar, let Kapil Dev Singh, let Kamla Kant Pathak, let Virender Prasad, members of the Advocate Association, and let Arun Kumar Singh, let Arun Prasad Singh, both members of the Lawyers Association, let Devnarayan Yadav, and let Anub Kumar Sinha, both members of Bar Association, and trust that members of their family would, would muster sufficient strength to bear the tragedy befallen upon them.
May I now request Shri Ajay Kumar Thakur, President of the Lawyers Association.
My Lord the Chief Justice, the other honorable judges of this honorable court, Sri Yogesh Chand Verma ji, President Advocate Association, Sri Sanjay Singh ji, President Bar Association, Sri P.K. Verma ji, Learned Additional Advocate General Bihar, Dr. K.N. Singh, Learned Additional Solicitor General, Senior Advocates Standing Council, all members of the Bar and Registry, and the family members of the departed esteemed soul, in whose memory we have gathered virtually this afternoon. Lord, life is the eternal and love is immortal. Death is only a horizon, and a horizon is nothing save the limit of our sight. Lord, we have gathered to here to condone the sad demise of our 9 colleagues. Lord, first, Arun Kumar Singh was a member of Law Association. Lord, he did his LLB in the year 1969, and he was practicing in this honorable court since the year 1969 itself, and has practiced Millard for a long period of 52 years in all the subjects. Unfortunately, Millard, he died on 24th of June, 2020 at Patna. His daughter Bijia Singh is also an advocate, Millard, in this honorable court. Our next colleague is late Devnarayan Yadav, who did his graduation, Millard, from Madhubani, and initially started after doing LLB from Darbhanga. He started his practice at Madhubani, but subsequently, Millard, in the year 1977, he shifted to this honorable court. And since then, Millard, he was a regular practitioner of this honorable court. He discharged the function as an additional public prosecutor. Thereafter, Millard, he was a government pleader from the year 1990 to 1993. He was government advocate, Millard, from the year December 93 to January 97. He also worked, Millard, as additional advocate general from 2006 to 2010. He was also panel as a senior counsel of central government in the year 96, 97, and 2015 to 2020. Millard, he has argued large number of cases. He was a man of a high repute, and he was being loved by all. The next is late Kali Prasad Dubey, a young man who died, Millard, in the short age of the year 61. Millard, he was born on 23/9/61. He did his graduation, Millard, and law, LLB, and thereafter, Millard, he was enrolled as an advocate in this honorable court, Millard, in the year 1989 in the Bar Council of Bihar. He worked, Millard, on the various sides like constitutional, civil, and election matters. He argued large number of cases. He is survived by his wife, Reena Dubey, his three sons, namely Mayank, Atul, and Aditya. He died, Millard, on 21/6/22. Next, Millard, late Causal Kumar. He was born, Millard, on 5/1/1964. And he did his LLB from Magad University in the year 1990. And in the year 1990 itself, he was enrolled, Millard, as in Bihar State Bar Council. He was a regular practitioner of this honorable court. He worked as a GP13 along with the GP13 since 21/3/2006 to 15th of December 2010. He is survived by his wife, Kindulata Devi, his two sons, namely Yogesh Chandra Prasad and Ravi Ranjan Kumar, and one daughter, Sapna Rai. Lord, he died on 31/5/22. Late Kapil Dev Singh Millard, he was born on 1/12/1956. He did his high school in the year 1976. He completed his law in the year 1993. And in the year 1993, he was enrolled in the Bihar State Bar Council. He died, Millard, on 13/4/2022 at the age of 66 years. Late Kamala Kant Pathak. He was born on 12th of October 1965. He did his graduation from St. Javier College, Ranchi, and obtained his LLB degree from Bihar Institute of Law in the year 1995. He was enrolled in the Bihar State Bar Council in the year 1995. He is survived by his wife, Manorama Pathak, and his only daughter, namely Kavya. He died on 27/4/21 at the age of 56. Late Anub Kumar Singh. He was born on 1st of January 1963. And he did his LLB course from Commerce College. Thereafter, he was enrolled in this honorable in the Bihar State Bar Council in the year 1995. He was residing at Rajendra Nagar. He worked for various institutions as a lawyer, like railways, and he also worked as an additional public prosecutor in several special cases, like Bathe nursing carnage and other carnages. And he died at a very premature age, leaving behind his wife and other family members. The next is late Arun Prasad Singh. He is also a member of the Law Association. And his date of birth is 29th of March 1950. He did his LLB from Magad University and was enrolled, Millard, in the year 1995. Since the year 1995, he was doing his practice till the last, Millard, till his death, i.e. the 31st of March 2022. He survived by his wife, late Meena Devi, sons Avijit and Abhishek, and one daughter, Manju Singh. The late Virender Prasad, he was born on 25th of February 1945, and he was enrolled in the Bihar State Bar Council Millard in the year 2003. Although earlier he was working Millard in the Land Development Bank, but thereafter Millard he joined the bar after his superannuation, and he died Millard on 13th of November 2021. Lord, life is a cycle which starts with birth and ends with death. And on this unfortunate event of death of our learned colleague, I am here with a heavy heart. I, on my behalf as well as on behalf of the Lawyers Association, pray for departed soul and also for the families who have witnessed the irreparable loss. And before I take everyone's leave, I will simply say that the song is ended, but the melody lingers on. Thank you.
You are not audible actually.
Thank you. May I now request Shri Sanjay Singh, please, President of the Bar Association.
Chief Justice. Am I audible, Manoj? Am I audible, Manoj?
The volume is, if you can just increase the volume.
Hello, Chief Justice, Honorable Judges.
Still not audible, Mr. Singh, still not audible.
Now,
Yes, better, better.
Hello, Chief Justice, Honorable Judges, Learned Additional Advocate General Shri P.K. Verma, Learned Additional Solicitor General Shri J.M. Singh Sahib, Shri Yogesh Chandra Verma Ji, President Advocate Association, Shri Ajay Kumar Thakur, President Lawyers Association, Registrar General and officers of the registry. Friends, I with all humility share the feelings of my friends and express the same on the sad demise of late Kamalakant Pathak, late Virender Prasad, late Kapil Singh, late Causal Kumar, late Dayu Prasanna Dubey, late Arun Prasad Singh, and late Arun Kumar Singh. Late Dayu Singh, a member of the Bar Association, was born on 4th January 1944 and was enrolled as an advocate in 1969. He started his practice at Civil Court, Madhuban. In 1977, he shifted his practice to the Patna High Court. He was penal lawyer for many governmental and non-governmental organizations. The state of Bihar appointed him Additional Advocate General, and he worked as such from 2006 to 2010. He was the syndicate member of the Dayu University. He was a political and social activist and stood for the cause of human rights and intersections. He passed away on 17/4/2022 at the age of 78 years. His son Arun Kumar is a practicing lawyer and our colleague in this court. Late Anub Kumar, also a member of the Bar Association, was born in the year 1963 and was an alumni of Millard University. He joined his practice at Patna High Court in the year 1995. Passed away on 24/12/2021, and leaves behind his wife, who is an associate professor, Department of Psychology, and his daughter is pursuing the MBBS course and aspiring to be a doctor. I am on behalf of members of the Bar Association, condole the death of our dear members and pray that they rest in peace and their families may have the strength to bear this tremendous loss.
May I now request Shri P.K. Verma, learned AAG 3.
My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice, other Honorable Judges, the President of the Advocates Association, Shri Yogesh Chandra Verma ji, President of the Lawyers Association, Shri Ajay Thakur ji, President of the Bar Association, Shri Sanjay Singh ji, Learned Additional Solicitor General, Government of India, Shri K.N. Singh ji, members of the Registry of the Patna High Court, and my esteemed colleagues attending the reference. We have assembled here today to mourn the sad demise of 9 learned advocates of our High Court. Well, the first advocate among them, late Shri Arun Kumar Singh, advocate, who did his LLB from Patna Law College and joined practice in the High Court in the year 1969. He remained in active practice for almost 51 years and finally breathed his last on 24th of June 2020 at his residence in Bahadurpur Colony, Patna. His daughter, Srimati Vijaya Singh, is a practicing advocate of our High Court. Well, the second advocate was late Devanarayan Yadav. He had done his LLB from CM College, Darbhanga in 1969, and he initially joined practice at Madhubani Civil Court, but later on shifted to Patna High Court in the year 1977. He had an opportunity to work as the government pleader of the government of Bihar from 1991 to 1993, thereafter as government advocate from 1993 to 1997, and he had been also posted as Additional Advocate General from 2006 to 2010. He also had an opportunity to work with the central government as senior counsel. After about 53 years of successful practice, late Shri Yadav expired on 17th April 2022. My Lords, the third advocate, late Shri Kali Prasanna Dubey, advocate, who also did his LLB from Patna Law College and was enrolled as an advocate in the year 1989, started his practice in the Patna High Court in the same year. He made his mark in the field of constitutional and election cases. After remaining in practice for almost 33 years, he expired on 21st June 2022 at the age of 61 years. He is survived by his wife, Srimati Reena Dubey, and 3 sons, Mayank, Atul, and Aditya. Late Shri Causal Kumar, advocate, after doing his LLB from Magad University, he had joined practice in the Patna High Court in the year 1990. He had an opportunity to work as assistant counsel with government pleader number 13 since 2006 to 2010. After remaining in practice for about 32 years, he breathed his last on 31st of May 2022 at a premature age of 58 years. He is survived by his wife, Srimati Devi, 2 sons, Yogesh Chandra Prasad and Ravi Ranjan Kumar, and 1 daughter, Sapna Roy. Late Shri Kapil Dev Singh, another advocate who died, he did his LLB from Magad University and joined Patna High Court as an advocate in the year 1993. After practicing for almost 29 years, he expired on 13th of April 2022 at the age of 66 years. He is survived by his wife, Srimati Aarti Kumari, 1 son and 1 daughter, both of whom are minors. Late Kamla Kant Pathak, advocate, he had done his LLB from Bihar Institute of Law at Patna and joined practice in Patna High Court in the year 1995. After remaining in practice for almost 26 years, he breathed his last on 27th of April 2021 at a premature age of 56 years. He is survived by his wife, Srimati Manorma Pathak, and 1 minor daughter, Kavya. Late Sri Anub Kumar Sinha, advocate, he passed out from Magad University at Bodh Gaya. He did his post-graduation in Labour and Social Welfare. He did his LLB also from Bodh Gaya and was enrolled as an advocate in the year 1995 and started his practice in the Patna High Court. Late Anup Sinha had a flourishing career as he had worked as a railway advocate since 2008, as a retained counsel of Bihar Intermediate Education Council, as assistant counsel to the Advocate General since 1998 to 2005, as additional PP in Bara carnage case, Gaya, as additional PP in Bathe carnage case, and appeared in several other important cases. After remaining in practice for almost 26 years, late Shri Sinha breathed his last at his residence in Rajendra Nagar, Patna on 24th of December 2021 at a premature age of 58 years. He is survived by his wife, Srimati Sangeeta Sinha, who is an associate professor in psychology department, College of Commerce at Patna, and one daughter, Srimati Shreya Raj, who is pursuing MBBS course. My lords, late Shri Arun Prasad Singh, advocate, joined practice in the Patna High Court after doing his LLB from Magad University in 1995. Earlier to that, he had worked as advocate's clerk from the year 1967 to May 1995. After remaining in practice for almost 27 years, he expired on 31st of March 2022 at his residence in Lohanipur, Patna, at the age of 72 years. He is survived by his wife, Srimati Meena Devi, two sons, Abhijit Kumar and Abhishek Kumar, and one daughter, Manju Singh. Lords, the next advocate, late Shri Virender Prasad, he was enrolled as an advocate in the year 2003, and after doing his LLB from the College of Commerce at Patna. Earlier, he had been working as an assistant in Land Development Bank since November 1967 and retired as a section officer in February 2003. After retirement, he joined practice in the Patna High Court under the guidance of Shri Naresh Chandra Verma advocate. He remained in practice for almost 18 years and breathed his last on 13th November 2021 at the age of 76 years. He is survived by his wife, Srimati Sharda Devi, and two sons, Satendra Kumar Vidyarthi and Jitendra Kumar Vidyarthi. I, on behalf of the State of Bihar, the Learned Advocate General, and on behalf of all the state councils, and on my behalf, fully endorse the expressions of grief expressed by the three associations and pray to God that their soul may rest in peace. God may give strength to their family members to bear the loss.
I now request Dr. K.N. Singh, Learned Additional Solicitor General. So you're not audible, Dr. Singh.
Honorable the Chief Justice, Honorable Judges, Shri Yogesh Chandra Verma, President of the Advocates Association, Shri Ajay Kumar Thakur, President of the Lawyers Welfare Association, Shri Sanjay Singh, President of the Bar Association, senior advocates, members of the registry, and colleagues. Today we are joined in this virtual proceeding to remember 9 of our departed colleagues. It is always with a heavy heart that we remember departed colleagues, and I adopt the sentiments expressed by speakers before me who have given the life sketch of our departed colleagues and have remembered them. Mr. Devanarayan Yadav was a member of the Bar Association, and I had a long association with him. He spent 52 years at the bar, and when I joined the profession, he was already a practicing advocate. He had worked in various capacities, from government of advocate to additional advocate general. He was a very affable person and a true friend. He was always helpful to his juniors, and he was a social worker and a political activist, but he had personal relationships above everything. One fondly remembers Mr. Devanarayan Yadav. Shri Arun Prasad Singh, with dint of hard work and determination, from advocate clerk he became an advocate. and became one of our colleagues. Shri Virender Kumar, after retirement, joined the bar and made a mark. Shri Kali Prasad Dubey was a lawyer of repute and very well disposed towards his colleagues. I, on behalf of all central government councils and on my own behalf, extend heartfelt condolences to members of the bereaved family, and may God give them strength to bear the loss.
My esteemed colleague, Honorable JD2, my other esteemed colleagues on the dais, Shri Yogesh Chandra Verma, President of the Advocates Association, Shri Ajay Kumar Thakur, President of the Lawyers Association, Shri Sanjay Singh, President of the Bar Association, Shri P.K. Verma, Learned Additional Advocate General, Dr. Singh, Learned Additional Solicitor General, members of the Bar, members of the Registry of the Patna High Court, family members of the departed souls in whose memory we have assembled here. It is indeed with a deep sense of sorrow that we have assembled here to condole the sad demise and also pay homage to the departed souls who left for the heavenly abode. I fully endorse the views expressed by the erstwhile speakers. 9 honorable members of the bar who left for the heavenly abode surely are now at the feet of their master. Shri Arun Kumar Singh, Shri Dayu Yadav, Shri Kali Prasanna Dubey, Shri Causal Kumar, Shri Kapil Singh, Shri Kamlakant Pathak, Shri Anub Kumar Sinha, Shri Arun Prasad Singh, Shri Virender Prasad. Mortal souls are not there, but their work spread over a period of time ranging from 20 years, 2 decades to 5 decades is with us. We cherish, we acknowledge, and we take pleasure in sharing this moment. For each one of them had passionately lived to serve the cause of justice. As one of the erstwhile speakers said, that love is immortal. Undisputedly, death is the only inevitable truth. Each one of us, mortal souls, have to leave for the heavenly abode. How well we would be remembered is dependent upon our deeds. And it is this love for each one of us, it is passion for the society, for serving the society, and more so the justice delivery system, which endears the departed souls to each one of us who are joined through digital mode. As I have heard the erstwhile speakers, each one of the departed souls were serving the institution in different capacities, justice delivery system in different capacities. But what I find pained at is that one of the departed souls left too early in life. and died at a very young age, leaving behind a minor daughter. Each one of the departed souls are men with great honor, integrity, and they live their life with dignity. My personal, as also on behalf of my colleagues, condolences to the family members of late Shri Kapil Singh, and more specifically his wife Srimati Aarti Kumari and son Shri Adarsh Ranjan, late Shri Virender Prasad, who is survived by his wife Srimati Sharda Devi, two sons Shri Satyendra Kumar Vidyarthi and Jitendra Kumar Vidyarthi, members of deceased Shri Causal Kumar, Srimati Kendula Devi, sons Yogesh Chandra Prasad and Ravi Ranjan Kumar. Family members of late Shri Kamlakant Pathak, spouse Srimati Manorma Pathak, and daughter Kavya. Family members of late Shri Kali Prasad Dubey, spouse Srimati Reena Dubey, and three sons Shri Mayank, Shri Prasanna Dubey, Shri Atul Prasannan, and also on a fourth member, Shri Aditya Pratik Prasannan. Family members of late Shri Arun Kumar Singh, who is a colleague at the bar, Shri Vijaya Singh, Srimati Vijaya Singh. Family members of Shri Arjun Prasad Singh, surviving spouse Srimati Meena Devi, two sons Shri Abhijit Kumar, Shri Abhishek Kumar, and daughter Shrimati Manju Singh. Family members of late Shri Anub Kumar Sinha, surviving spouse Srimati Sangeeta Sinha, and daughter Shri Shreya Raj. Family members of late Shri Devanandan Yadav, whom each one of the erstwhile speakers have spoken very highly of, being a social activist, has also championed the cause of human rights. And the surviving member, Shri Saroj Kumar, who's also practicing advocate in this court. In this hour, brief, each one of us are together. And again, my brothers join me in conveying our heartfelt condolences to each one of the members of the bereaved family. And surely, as I began by saying that the departed souls have already rested at the feet of the God Almighty. And that God Almighty, in my considered view, opinion, would also give strength to each one of the surviving members of the family to bear this loss with fortitude. Now, as a mark of respect to the departed souls, may I request everyone to kindly stand and observe silence for 1 minute. Thank you. Let the Registrar General, officiating Registrar General of this court forward a copy of the full court reference to the members of the bereaved family through email and a hard copy through registered post in due course. The work of the High Court shall remain suspended for the rest of the day. Namaskar.